We've used the word hook a lot in the last videos, and I want to just look at the notion of hooks and what they are and how to create them a bit more closely. A hook is basically the part you remember after the song is over. It's the part you keep singing over and over to yourself, although it doesn't literally have to be a melodic or lyrical line. And it's the most memorable part of the song that grabs you. Now, there are different types of hooks, and you can combine and use multiple types of hooks in one song, and that makes for very strong songwriting and strong arrangements and production. The main kind of hooks are structural hooks, and that's basically what we've been talking about so far. Part of the structure of the song itself functions as the hook, and the most common is the hook chorus. So some of the aspects of that are it repeats several times and contains the main hook line. And the main hook line is often the title of the song. So you really drive that hook home with a simple, repeated, short, little melodic or lyrical line that's used in the chorus. The structural hook is almost always a melodic element built into the song's melody. So that's the kind that's most in your control as a composer. Let's continue. And we have instrumental hooks. Now, these are melodic phrases in the song that are not actually part of the vocal melody, but they're still memorable. And an example of that is the opening melody in Stevie Wonder's Sir Duke. You know, you have that nice horn lick, and it's repeated later on. That's an instrumental hook. Or the end of the chorus in Something by the Beatles. It's a famous example. At the end of the lyric, there's a little guitar lick for 2 bars that ends the chorus. And that's a memorable line. If you hear that lick alone, you'll instantly identify it as being from the song Something. So instrumental hooks are another way of creating hooks. And I think they're valuable for the songwriter to be aware of because even though it's technically part of the arrangement and maybe not part of the quote-unquote songwriting part itself, I think it's still important to consider and build into your songs if you feel it'll be an element that will contribute. We have storyline hooks, and rather than a musical element, it's some aspect of the story or lyric that stands out and is the most memorable part. The key phrase I'm trying to get home to you here is memorable. So anything that can make your song memorable is a valuable hook to use. You can have a storyline hook that has a lyric that stands out as memorable plus an instrumental hook. So you can freely combine. And then next thing we have are production hooks. Now, these days, the line between composition or songwriting and production is more blurred than ever. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably working at home in some DAW, like Logic or Pro Tools or Sonar or something like that, writing your songs and arranging them and producing them and creating them yourselves. The line between demo and finished product is blurred these days. All this to say that elements used in the production can be valuable hooks, and they're almost, I would go as far as to say, part of the songwriting process today because of the nature of home studios. So certain sounds themselves evoke certain emotional responses. So the actual sounds used in your arrangement can be hooky. They can be as effective as the melody and harmony themselves. Now, for example, a driving danceable rhythm like in Katy Perry's California Girls, we have that staccato rhythm with that synthy guitar and keyboard sound layered together. That's a strong production hook. I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas, we have that nice staccato, distinctive guitar, quarter note guitar part throughout the verses. That's a very distinctive part of the production and hooky part of the song. That's a great example of a song that has all kinds of hooks built into it. The danger with this, of course, is that you get too tied up in the production, the sounds you're working with, and you lose the forest for the trees, and you start focusing on that rather than the actual crafting of the song itself. So you need to obviously maintain a balance, but these days with do-it-yourself home studios, consider production and the sounds you're using to be hook elements or available potential hook elements. Now, some general principles to think of when you're creating hooks. Sounds or melodies that go up in pitch sound happier. Sounds or melodies that go down in pitch sound sadder. Think of the first few notes of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony that everyone knows. Da-da-da-dum. That's very sad sounding, ominous kind of sound, and it's just 2 notes, but it goes down in pitch. So that's something to consider as you're crafting your hooks, and often 1 or 2 notes are all you need, and a hook can even be rhythmic. It doesn't have to be tied to pitch or melody. Think of the old song Walk the Dinosaur. Boom, boom, aka-laka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka, boom, boom. There's a really catchy hook right there. And hooks can also be developed in the arrangement of a song. Think of the bass line for Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. We hear those opening few bars with that bass and drums going, and you know instantly it's Billie Jean. That's an arrangement element, but again, something to consider as you're arranging your own demos. Because these days, as I said before, production, arranging, writing, they're all blurred together. Eli's golden rules. Good hooks are simple. Repetition, repetition, and more repetition. See you for more in the next video.